Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the Gym Owners Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Stone. Over there's John Fairbanks. How you doing, John?
Hello, Tyler.
Guys, this week we want to talk about the cyclical nature of the fitness industry, of people's fitness careers, the cyclical nature of a business, of people's fitness journey, and why missing out and not understanding what that is leading you to leave the most important people to your business behind. So let's get started. First thing I want you to do, go to the link in our description. In that description, you're going to find, you can go to the Facebook group, the Gym Owners Revolution. We got good shit coming up next month. We've been teasing it next month for a long time. I promise it's really coming. We have a slam project this month, but we do have some free shit we're putting in there that's going to help you guys. You can build, you'll be able to build your offer stacks. You're going to be able to sell basically the same way the people at our Gear Academy sell. You're just going to have to make all your kind of decisions like that yourself to get started. The goal with this is to give you all the tools to make an offer stack that'll help you sell. Great personal training, great nutrition coaching, your whatever it is, your group, your 24-hour access, whatever that is. I want you to put that stuff together in a way that's going to make you real money, have you selling big ticket stuff and making sales super easy for you. So that's going to be going on for free in a Facebook group, in the link in the description, the Gym Owners Revolution. If you want to work in the Gear Academy, get that stuff up and running with an app working directly for you in your hands that you can walk through your client sales opportunities with and crush it, amongst all the other things we do in the Gear Academy, from selling supplements to fucking anything else you want to do. Onboarding coaches, staff, building new systems, nurturing leads, all the boring business stuff that boring business dorks talk to you about that you pretend to understand. Those are also the things that we work on you with in the Gear Academy. So you can go to gymownersrevolution.com if you want in on that.
But we're so much bigger, balder, and more bearded than any of them are.
The most. We are the most. Yeah, I will say this. We definitely, if we're talking height and weight ratio, there's not a single fitness business consulting organization that I would pit two guys in an offensive versus defensive line type scenario. Ain't nobody blocking you or I.
I feel very confident about the entire situation.
There is nobody in this industry that's stopping me from getting to their quarterback. I'll tell you.
And that's your business, and the revenue that your business can be generating.
And this is where we fluff up the analogies. Guys, this is an issue that's been back to the subject, I guess. Before we run too fast, follow the show at the Gym Owners Podcast on Instagram. You can follow me at Tyler F. Stone on Instagram. And John, how can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at jbanksfl.
Let's get to the meat of the show. So John and I have pretty good experience with this, the ebbs and flows, I don't even know what you call it. It's not even an ebb and flow, more of there's a progression. When people get on board with fitness, when they start to give fitness space in their lives, they start to progress in that area, right? If you never go to the gym ever and you start going to the gym, your first couple of years, you're going to do a lot of new gym goer shit, and you're going to start Googling shit that you don't have a lot of reference for, and it's whatever. You can kind of be preyed upon a little bit by brands, organizations, businesses, coaches, products, accounts, influencers, whatever. Not even preyed upon. That's just who they're talking to. But as you evolve after your second year, third year, fourth year, 5-6 years of training, you kind of learned how to separate the wheat from the chaff, and you know what's what. You know what I mean? You just know, listen, if you've been working out in the gym and gotten big results for 5 years and like you're still wearing like Gymshark, get the fuck out of here. You're not, if you're not wearing Massonomics stuff, I know you've been training for like less than a year or two. You know what I mean? Like you got to evolve. But it is interesting that every aspect of the fitness industry takes it their way. So from the supplements that are marketed towards you to the educational products, and that's the wheelhouse John and I have the most experience in, fitness education. And one of the things that happens is I started my business when I started my business, right? Mm-hmm. During the kind of peak of the CrossFit boom, maybe a year or two later than the true peak, but it was still, high time for CrossFit. And that was when I had opened my CrossFit affiliate. And then there were still brands that were emerging out of that boom, right? Out of that boom came lots of podcasts and shows and lots of information, because all of a sudden there's, hundreds of thousands of people doing CrossFit that weren't in gyms, that weren't doing anything else. And so all these new products come up and they rise up very, very, very quickly. And John and I were involved with one of those organizations after, I don't know how many years it was. It was probably like 2 years, 2.5 years or so of their existence in that space.
Mhm.
But what happens with, and this is universal, this is with every brand that I've seen, is they then like you start to teach certain things if you're in that position, and then you start to evolve and you start to learn more. You learn more stuff, newer stuff interests you. You're not too worried about perfecting this little thing or that little thing or speaking to new people, because you have enough of an audience already that's already caught up. They're caught up to you.
They've
So
been
you
with
need
you.
to progress. You can't just keep teaching the same. You should, but you can't just keep teaching the same month 1 through 12 for bunches of people that come in at month 1 and check them out at month 12. You can't do it. But what happens is things end up becoming very graduate school-esque.
Mhm.
And this is, it happens in the business space too. If you're a new business, if you just opened your gym and you're kind of bootstrapping your thing, you know what I'm talking about. When you see the other fitness consulting products out there, like fitness business consulting stuff, it's not fucking talking to you. It's just not like none of that shit was in my wheelhouse when I was starting my business. Like, ugh, these are all way too far ahead of where I'm at right now. I don't have the, unless if you got a big stack of money to sink in and you can just kind of go play those soulless games, go for it. But they were not speaking to the new person because they had got in. There was already well-established businesses with money to spend.
Yep.
And that's who they spoke with. And that's who they've been running with this whole time, which means there's the way this cycle works is all of the new people feel completely abandoned. And that's where I still think that there's a phase in that in fitness education, as well as just general fitness, what's going on in businesses, what's going on in gyms, what's going on with personal training, what's going on in the not fitness information, fitness entertainment space as well.
Sure.
Just what's happening on social media. Look at TikTok. The most popular fitness content on TikTok is like borderline pornographic. It's just fluffy, just garbage. You know, it's not that it's trash. It's for people who have no fucking idea about anything about fitness. Well, it's really what it is. And we've seen brands try to do legitimate things on TikTok, but it's meant to collide everybody together. So it just doesn't really work on that platform. So what is working is stuff for a guy that's maybe just wants to see something funny. I just started going to the gym and I see some dorky exercise, somebody get hurt. You see gym fails.
Gym fails
Are a thing for new people.
Yeah.
It really is like, oh geez, I just went to the gym. Watch this guy's knee explode. You know, like that's funny. I've been in that place, you know? So I guess what I'm getting at here is for you to focus on a few things for you as a gym owner. Is that know that when you started getting into fitness, you need to identify the things that you relate to from that time, right? What was that journey like? You get new people coming into your gym, I hope, regularly, and start pay attention, because people will come into your, like when I start coaching people, they'll start coming to me with memes that I've seen 4 years ago. You know what I mean? It feels like you're the only guy that lifts weights in your family. And so all you get sent is weightlifting memes that you've already seen or that aren't funny.
Yeah.
And but that's what it is with new people. And you got to understand that is important. Those people are important, and you need to learn how to attract those people, because I see so many people swinging and missing on this.
Well, I think the biggest mistake is thinking, even as a gym owner, and because what we found too, Tyler, is even in the space where we are, it was a conscious decision that we made to not allow ourselves to start and then continue to just accelerate with everybody and just and lose or leave where the people we wanted to serve where they were.
Yeah.
It was because we had seen the mistake, not just made within the companies that we worked for or with personally, but we just watched an entire industry do it, where everybody just went up, 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 up and away and left the majority of the people sitting and waiting and wanting. What I would challenge is, I think the biggest mistake that people are making right now is, if you have somebody that comes to your gym, and you know this as a gym owner, is somebody that comes in and in your questionnaire, whatever you ask, right, what their training workout history has been, right, where they've worked out before, whatever, is just because somebody has worked out before and they're not brand new, to make an assumption that they have any fucking clue what they're supposed to do, you are making a massive mistake.
Yeah. And the truth is, even people that think they know what they're doing is even worse. So really your job it should be to, how do I put this? It should always be about the basics, in my opinion,
Always.
from a coaching standpoint, from
Yes.
in anything. It really should always just be about the basics. But in your messaging, very specifically, I don't think it's right for gyms very often to be doing some right or wrong stuff in regards to exercise, in my opinion. Like thumbs up, thumbs down. Like for a gym, I think it's tricky. I think because
Mm.
unless it's delivered in a way that makes people feel like you're getting information, because if they've done an exercise another way, they may be dogmatic about it already, pointlessly dogmatic. People are simply attached to the things that they do. So if I'm a gym and I want to attract more members, again, I don't need them to think that I'm smart.
No,
because I'll tell you the truth. Being jacked will get you further with selling new clients than being smart will, 100% of the time.
And what do we know to be true, Tyler, is that things we thought we were smart about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you look like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Because
and tell me, how is the fucking Atkins diet not just keto? What the fuck? Like all these fucking things are the same. But but in terms of even terminology, we were talking with one of our Gear Academy coaches the other day, and trying to get up the nutrition sales numbers from new people. Now we've run some specialty programs, so it's tough to sell nutrition when people are coming in with a different expectation already. So we don't like being bait and switchy about it, but we want to figure out how can we systematically make this better. One thing you can do is make sure that your leads you're getting leads because people want to be coached on their nutrition, right? The other thing is, does being coached on your nutrition sound like something you want to do? Fuck no. That product sounds like it sucks. Now I sell nutrition coaching. I use the word terms nutrition coaching. I need better terms. Let me help you with your diet. Let me give you, here's my diet for you, whatever it is, because those are the words they recognize. We've talked about this before, but when people this is the prime example though of what I'm talking about with this cycle and how people miss it. Good fitness coaches, ethical fitness coaches like you, like me, like you, if you're listening out there, what you'd want is you want a sustainable system for your clients with nutrition, right? You don't want them going on some diet. I read about a diet on the internet. You don't want them doing this diet, losing 15, 20 pounds and giving all the credit to the diet. And then that diet's not actually sustainable. And then that diet melts down and then they get fat and then it's the diet's fault. And then they don't want to do the next thing because diet. So you think because there's shitty nutritional advice out there and they all call it diets, that you're like, well, we don't do diets. I'm going to give you sustainable nutrition, food planning, fucking Now, I've done it, I've said it before, because it's weird for me to say, I'll give you a diet plan. It does seem weird, except here's the deal. Look at the people out there who are currently overweight and not doing anything about it yet, who are right on the verge, who need to take one action and it changes their life, right? One action into the right place, hopefully your place. And it can absolutely change their life. But they don't speak in those terms. They've heard, they had a diet last time and they're interested, like, I want a diet that works. That's what they want. They want a diet that works, not a custom nutrition fucking opus that is fucking periodized depending upon blah blah blah, and we involve carb cycling and your thumb in your ass every Tuesday just in case you want to check your temperature. It sucks, but you just need to know that all of these, every single thing about your products that you make more complicated, you're missing out on like the most valuable demographic to your business, which is the people right about to start. Because guys, this is a fitness industry. There is so many of these people, right? So many. This is why we are the Gym Owners Revolution. It's what we're here to do. It's what I hope you're here to do. And you're not going to do that by just opening some 50,000 square foot Globo gym where you're just a fucking key card manufacturer and that has a janitor. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'd really like your system to be set up to actually make a difference in your community. And you gotta be connecting to these people because they need help and they need the right help. All they need you to do is speak their fucking language for just a little bit. Get your head out of your ass. Get your head out of whoever's been teaching you for the last 4 or 5 years' ass, because they're talking so much further down the fucking road, and you wonder why 5 years of having your head up somebody else's ass, speaking fucking snotty, dorky, scientific blah, 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 shit all the fucking time that nobody's interested in except for you. Stop parroting that shit, because you're going to lay a huge fucking egg on your marketing. I see this trap all the time. And expertise, if you're a gym, no one gives a fuck. It's not about you.
And
no one cares.
And the reason why you know this to be true is your aversion to what normies call shit, and all of our drive towards more elitist language when we're talking about this is because of our aversion, because we see them and they, and we see mainstream media, right? We see how predators, right? People that we just disagree with on a fundamental level, how they sell this shit to the general population, and they're slowly poisoning them and killing them slowly, right? And so that's why we go in an elitist direction, and that's what we're calling out right now, which is that's the wrong move. Because take Good Morning America, look at them. They are reaching more people than any gym on planet fucking Earth. And they are going to give diet advice, exercise advice, and the language in which they're going to use that is going to be perfect.
Yep.
It's going to be perfect to reach every single person that's a goddamn zombie that's going to turn on the morning news every morning, and they're going to learn about Peloton, about keto, about fill in the blank. So that's where our aversion comes from. But here's how you're going to be better. You're going to be better because you're going to look at what language are they using, and I'm going to weaponize and use that language because that's what connects to regular humans, and then I'm actually going to do it the right way.
That is exactly the point here, John, is you need to beat them at their own game. You're coming in here going, I'm not even playing that game. I don't even fucking want new people. And then you wonder why you're broke. Like, you know, I'm not even interested. And that's, maybe you're not saying you're not even interested, but like all of the stuff you're saying and talking about, or the fact is maybe you're just not talking about anything. Well, perfect. Now you have a plan. Okay. That plan is beat them at their own game. Look at the slimy stuff that's out there. How can I do this? How can I figure out what's actually connecting to these people that are new? Like, they are lost, right? They are lost. And this is one of the things we talk to when I work with some MMA gyms and stuff, is we tell these like grappling places, jiu-jitsu studios, is you guys have to understand that white belts are paying 80% of your fucking bills.
Oh yeah.
At least. So how advanced do you want all your stuff to look? Now, yeah, if you're in a bigger market, you want your stuff to work for advanced people, right? It needs to, right? You want to attract guys you want to be the place where the people that really know what they're doing go. Wonderful. And that has an overarching theme, is appealing to new people. And that, like, yeah, I do want to go to the place where it's known as real deal. I'm not doing like Mal Kwando or some shit, you know, but like, you do need to understand that serving these beginners and not losing them, and stop talking over them and past them, or like they're idiots, or like they don't exist, or whatever, or just because the mistakes that they make are so easy for you to predict because they're formulaic. People's journeys are very similar, and they've often chased the same misconceptions in fitness, martial arts, all these things, that you can be cunty and judgmental about that a little bit and not even know it, right?
Easily.
There's eye rolls that I would give when people would be like, I heard creatine is steroids. It's like, okay, Jesus. Or when people would come in, Jesus, the 2016, 17, 18 era, when it's like, I've been taking my branch chain amino acids, and I'm just like, cool. And I would like argue with people about this. I was like, yeah, stop buying that, right? I would just say, like, stop buying this, waste your fucking money. But all that does is makes you the person that's resistant to the energy they're trying to give that's positive.
Exactly.
A person buying branch chain amino acids who's coming to my gym and paying me to coach them, that's not them being like trying to do shortcuts. It's just another version of commitment that they're doing. And me doing the thing, by the way, I did this then. I was like, stop. It's just making your piss expensive. It's stupid. Literally just drink more protein powder then if you want or whatever. But like the fact is someone wants something sweet that's no calories. It's a very little consequence. They want to spend a little money and feel like it's working for them. What are we talking about? Why? What a weird thing for me to sacrifice that trust on. Right. And that was a thing that I did as a coach.
Or
And I
just
still am tempted to do it all the time, right? When I get asked something that's dumb from somebody, I just want to be like, stop, this is dumb, it's all wrong. And you can't do that with people.
But it's a really cool idea that that concept of we want to cut them off, right? Cut off and just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And instead that will always be met with aversion, right? It will be met with a wall. Just like
it's definitely not going to be met with someone handing money to you.
You're right. I'm an asshole.
Right. Here's more money. You told me how wrong I was. Let me pay. It's bad business, dude.
you and I, we've had a coach that used to talk about this all the time, where it was the idea of everything she posed when it comes to marketing, and everything was stories, right? The idea is everyone has a story. And on this particular topic exactly, which is that person's story is stopping at BCAAs well, you are stopping them, right? You are stopping that story. Where at the end of the day, what you do is instead is you just say, you allow that story to continue. Mm-hmm. And if you allow yourself to then insert and not just close the door on them, and allow that story to continue and then take them to where you would prefer them to go in a loving and understanding manner, your ability to then actually capitalize on those misunderstandings or capitalize on what your people's good intentions are goes infinitely higher. But as soon as you close that door, as soon as you allow that story to just stop and be like, what? No, what the fuck? Ultimately it's because now it's no longer BCAAs are the problem. Now it's they're the problem.
It is. And it is because you want to go, oh, you don't fucking know anything. That's what you're saying. You don't know shit. Right. By the way, they weren't asking you a question very often. They just showed up with it in their body.
They were just excited. They were just like, oh, I got my thing. And because they're so vulnerable though.
Yeah. People would come in with pre-workout, like 6:30 class, hammer pre-workout. And it's like, hey, I don't think you're drinking like a Bang energy drink at 7 p.m. and you're coach and I'm trying to help you to lose weight or gain muscle, and sleep's important and all those things. Like,
go to sleep.
Fuck me, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. So this is a thing that I've been working a little bit too, that I try to take those concerns now. And John, you know me, how I am personality wise. This is hard for me, right? That literally that thing. It's the thing I work on a lot. I work on very much in the things we're communicating in our business to connect to who you are as a gym owner. But as I'm coaching clients regularly, I still struggle with that because it's so far back. You're a gym owner, at least you know some things about some stuff, I hope. When I'm working with the general population, sometimes it's crazy. Like, because it's nuts what you see in a 24-hour gym. It's nuts. And I have some clients who, I had a client the other day messaged me, and he was kind of joking, but he has a little bit of sweet tooth. And he messaged me with a bag of these like giant, like candied straw things. Like, I don't even it's like licorice, but like super sweet and sour. There's just a whole bag of them he ate. And he's like tracking food. And he's like, these are kind of a pretty good source of carbs. And I was like, well, I hope you're joking. He's like, no, I was like getting through the day, and it was, I was kind of hungry. And so I stopped at the store. He's like a professional with a professional job. So he walks in. So I walked him through this, and I just kind of laughed. And I said, so hang on here. So I didn't say, because obviously he knows that was a mistake. Kind of like, eating a whole bag of chips is a problem. You just know. So he's kind of opening the door
to tattle
for some guidance and dialogue about this a little bit, but doesn't want me to be like, what am I supposed to say? My first reaction, which I've done this person many times, is stop buying that shit. Just stop buying it, and you're never gonna have this fucking problem. Just don't buy, and you're not gonna have this issue ever. I don't get it, but I don't have the sweet tooth, so I don't really understand that game that much. I'm not a potato chip guy, so you're never gonna see me like succumb to the temptation of candy by going to the stores. But the way I kind of does, I started with this lovingly mocking way, which is I was like, so wait a minute, 40, you're wearing a suit to work, right? And so you went into the grocery store as a 40-year-old man, and you just walked through the candy aisle, and you're like, found this big, shiny blue bag. And so what I did was I basically just told him was like, this is like really not masculine behavior in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like buying candies for ladies and kids. Like, what are you doing, dude? And in that way, we came to this funny realization where we can kind of laugh about it. And I was like, let's be honest, like buying potato chips is immature as fuck. You know what I mean? It just really is. As an adult man going and buying drinking like a 24-ounce Mountain Dew, it's like, what are you, fucking stupid? Like, you can kind of say that jokingly, and then we get that out that way, and it seems to work. Now, this is a big, long fucking diversion of this, but in dealing with new people, like, those are the types of problems you're having to solve. Like, yeah, I probably know this is wrong, but I'm still going to lean into it anyway. So what am I supposed to do? In my marketing, am I supposed to say this stuff about my nutrition plan, about how bad sugar and candy is? Jesus Christ, everyone knows. There's no educating beyond that point. So if I'm getting to macros and food timing and this and that in my marketing, that may be a part of my product, but in my marketing, if I'm trying to send out information about that outwardly to attract people, no, because those people don't even care. They can't stop themselves from buying juicy sour ropes during the day when they're bored, you know, when they're trying to lose weight, dude, paying someone money.
They can't tell you what macros are. And this is that line when it comes to your marketing that we will continue to talk about, because it is something where it doesn't matter how long you've been in business, and it doesn't matter what your industry is. It gets missed time and time again, which is we spend too much time focusing on what we do in comparison to what we want them to get. We want them to achieve things. We want our clients to be able to get things and for them to have goals that they can achieve. And that's where, again, it's, if you're talking about macros, you're starting to climb into your own ass just a little bit too much. You got to come out and say how you're going to do it is macros. We all get it. We know that's how you're going to do it, but that's not it. And you, Tyler, you did this maybe a year ago. You shared it on the podcast where it was, you had a guy that was a client of yours for nutrition, and your advice was so simple. And it was, the dude drank whatever it was, a 12-pack of Budweiser, right? Yep. That was standard. And it was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to move you to a 12-pack of Bud Light.
Yep.
It wasn't stopping drinking. Like, you know what I mean? No. Like, it wasn't like there is the answer, but the fact is that I'm going to tell you, around here where I'm in rural Virginia, where I live, the big boy Mountain Dews are a very popular beverage for people that look like me, that are adults. Yeah. And so that's reality. You know what I mean? They're factory workers. They work in the prisons. They work. Like,
I have an uncle in the vending industry who says too that, like, there's two types of soda that are, he says they have to be so addictive because when they're out, those people lose their fucking minds at their job if it's not in the vending machine. And it is, in order, Mountain Dew and Diet Coke. He said it's fucking madness if those people. So I'm going to tell you this, right? So yes, of course, in an optimized situation, I'm going to say stop all of the Mountain Dew. I have a client who I just started with like a month ago. Same deal. It's like 3-4 Mountain Dews a day. I said, all right, here's what we're going to do. And I told him with him, because he also drinks alcohol. I said, here's what we're going to do. The Mountain Dew, I said, I used to drink Mountain Dew. I said, what are your thoughts on Diet Mountain Dew? And he said, disgusting. And I said, good. Because if you like Diet Mountain Dew, I don't think you're a human. So I understand you're just hooked to the giant, sweet, electric taste of Mountain Dew, and Diet Mountain Dew won't work. It's fine. Then we do have to beat that sweet taste boredom vibe that you got in your day. That's got to go away. You just can't have 1,000 calories a day in this. So we're going to go down to 2, then we're going to go down to 1, and then we're going to get it to 0, except for you're going to have 1 on a special occasion. It needs to be a special occasion, not something you're running through, passing around your day, just ignoring, not enjoying even, right? And that's the name of the game there. But for people that drink alcohol too, around here, I have some clients who's like, sometimes it's all you got, you know, you get the food pretty close. And it's like, no, I'm having 4 beers a night, 3-4 nights a week. And I said, okay, this is where it gets risky. I was like, can you switch to liquor?
Switch to tequila?
Can you switch to liquor? Because it's going to be less calories. Like, can we work that out? And please, and you never know. Please don't ruin your life, because I told you got to start drinking liquor instead.
Not my coach. I pay him.
The deep end.
The baby told me a fifth of vodka.
But to get back on task, one of the thing that I think is important to know is like if you're having trouble getting, go ahead, John.
Well, on this topic, right? Just imagine. So now what you're going to do is you're going to change your marketing from I sell nutrition coaching to the Mountain Dew diet. Now, like play with that idea.
People are going to look.
But now you got somebody's attention because now there are going to be people who are like, well, I drink Mountain Dew and I could like lose weight and shit. And like, you're not going to get mad at me. Like,
what if it literally, yeah. And maybe it's literally about weaning people off of soda. And we're going to start where you're at. And we're going to go with a 20% reduction by the second week. And we basically Chantix your way off of soda. And in that process, you'll lose weight. And then it opens the door to better decisions after that.
But it just
not a terrible idea.
Right. Like there's just ways to be able to attract people, which again, it's using their language, meeting people, real, regular people, which is just, I get it. Oreos are the shit, man. Like, they're the greatest cookie that's ever been made in a package. So if Oreos are people's vice, then it's...
John's coming at me with some real lady energy right now, dude.
You're welcome. We were just talking about this the other day, though, because we were talking about the idea of like, because packaged cookies suck dick. Like they're all bad. Because my wife makes
really good cookies.
Like really good cookies. And that's not even a sex thing only. And so but we're like, packaged cookies, they just miss the mark so much. And we're like, what is the best package? And so again, that's regular people. Regular people are like, no, like I got to have that shit.
What is the best packaged cookie, John?
Well, for me, it's a toss up for me. It was either Oreos or Pepperidge Farm Sausalito cookies.
Okay, I'm a soft batch Keebler guy.
Oh no, God, no.
Dude, soft batch. Something about that soft batch. I don't know, man. There's just something about that. All right. No, for real. Give me your man card. What are you doing? Buying candy like a lady? Get out of here. Anyway, but on that note too, though, like the thing is, if you're having trouble generating leads, especially from your organic social media strategy, we'll start there, right? But I do believe your organic strategy, content that you're putting on your social media for free, whatever that plan is, you better have a plan. From what's working there is where you need to determine what you're going to use for paid ads, right? And so this is a spot for you can have a little bit of trial and error because you're not spending a couple $1,000s a month or $1,000 a month to run ads, right? For this content that may be a miss. So you have a little bit of effort, a little bit of flexibility to try some stuff here. But the thing is, if you're having trouble getting many leads from that, like if just the numbers, the influx is not very high, and you're doing a lot of calls to action and you're making content that's specific about your programs and trying to be specific about your people's needs, just dumb it down. That's all. Dumb it down. The person wears Gymshark, like really, like they just have been going to the gym for like 2 weeks, or it's just maybe went and stopped, right? I shouldn't ship. I think the Gymshark's like a huge brand, but
we would love to be.
I've never seen anyone
love to be sponsored by Gymshark.
I've never seen anyone with like a 900-pound deadlift wearing Gymshark. So
now it's going to be like facetiously, yeah.
But I think it's important that you try to connect with who those people are. You have people who are in your gym, right? And some of the people who are in your gym, they've been working out for a long time. So you try to replicate who those people are, who they are right now in your marketing. You're going to miss because those people did not come to you now. Those people came to you a couple of years ago. And if you're wondering why you can't get new people, it's because all you're doing is talking about and to people that have been around the game for 4 or 5 years. And if your market can support that, great. But like, where's the biggest open-ended opportunity in fitness? Regular people losing weight. Like getting regular people started. We have a huge epidemic of overweight people. We have a huge issue with people not getting enough exercise. And we have a huge issue with people eating very poorly in this country. And all of the outcomes health-wise that are limiting the future that this country is going to have health, as far as health goes and longevity, you're in a position to start solving in your community if you start talking to these fucking people.
Yeah.
And it's just a piece that always rubbed me wrong about CrossFit's official image. Now, I do think what CrossFit did when I had my CrossFit affiliate, what they did as a whole was still net positive, of course. I mean, I wouldn't have put my life savings into building a CrossFit gym if I didn't believe that, right? But I was always fighting an uphill battle about the elitist image that they had, fitness elitism, and you would attract people who were interested in starting CrossFit starting doing that type of exercise. But man, that I spent a lot of time diffusing concerns and convincing people that no, it's not crazy. It can be for you. And sometimes when you peel that branding off, man, it's just easier to talk to people about people instead of talking to people about, no, what you heard about literally your sales conversations are like, what you heard about us isn't really that bad. It's not really that true. Like that sucks, you know, and that's not even me, you know? So it's really important that you start to direct your marketing towards that a demographic. I mean, you don't have to if you're a performance guy and you're only working on elite athletes and you have that, go for it, man. But
it's different.
It's a different game. But then let's go with this. So you can in your niche. I don't even fucking know how it's whatever in your fucking market, whatever that is, right? If you're looking to coach mostly powerlifters, right? You got an extreme powerlifting, great. Do you want to grow the powerlifting community, though? Or are you just trying to cater to the few people that are here? Like, if you really give a fuck, this is why great people, in my opinion, in this industry from Massonomics, guys like Dan Bell and some of those guys that I've been fortunate to meet through that organization, we were finding that these people are the ones that want the most to grow the sport, like really to grow the sport. Like they want new people and they want it approachable. I mean, like freaky, big, strong guys. And they're like, no, I want this to be accessible. You come in and feel welcome on your first day. Come to your first meet, deadlift 135 pounds, and the crowd's still going to be in it for you. Like he's going to cheer for you. Like there's guys like that exist. And so what are you going to do? Right? You need to, whatever your market is, you need to start to, how do we bring people, again, what's the one step I can do? Because if I can bring more people into this world, me and my competitors are not fighting over the same fucking pie. We're not fighting over slices of the same pie. We're going to make the pie much, 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 much bigger. And guys, there's a lot of goddamn potential pie here in the fitness industry.
It's infinite amounts.
What fucking Peloton did, dude. They just come in like biking in your house, a thing that never fucking worked ever. Never. It sold some units. And no matter what people say about the up and the down, like, yeah, it still works. I still see people that use it religiously. Still people in my feed that use it religiously. It's not going to work for everybody, but they came in and they made a thing that was exactly what it needed to be.
And understand what we're talking about. We're threading the needle here very specifically, where we're talking about attracting new people and attracting people to come to your gym so you can, right, change your lives, make your community better, do all of the altruistic things that is mandatory for us if you're going to be a gym that is going to regularly put up with listening to us or come and work with us in the Gear Academy. So you have to have those altruistic vision pieces. So if you're going to attract more people, that is what you have to do. And the phrasing is like, we got to dumb it down or you got to make it simpler or whatever it is. But don't make the mistake. You have to simplify it and speak to where people are to get them to come and take that first step forward into your community. Once you got them, now you can ascend them. Right now you can bring them. I mean, you can do all the things. So you get to then teach them that there are more brands than Gymshark, right? The protein that you've been getting, right? The protein you've been getting at Walmart is probably not the best. And there's lots of reasons why, and they spike it. So I know it says this much grams of protein, but that's not actually protein because they've actually added other shit. Like there's so much nuance to it that you just need to get them in, build the trust, help them do their thing, and then ascend them. So that's where it's not telling you to stop allowing complexity. Because if you are running your gym correctly, right, the top 20%, it's the top 20% of your clients. Those top clients are going to pay 80% of your bills.
Yep. And if that's not the case, you don't have enough high ticket. You're not giving those people an opportunity, which means that's money you're leaving on the table, which is a whole nother story. But yeah, you need to have an opportunity for these people to invest further. Once you have that trust, they'll spend a lot of damn money with you. And if you're only selling a one size fits all product and you're missing out on all these other things that these new people want, you just keep laying that egg too. So one of the things we want to touch on is programming is another term that I hate.
Yeah.
Program. You want a training program? Another one is the term train. You want to train? I'm training. You want to come train? The other one is nutrition. Talk nutrition coaching, nutrition, this macros. Macros. We'll teach on your macros. What the fuck? There's a thing when you start a new anything that all that terminology that you don't understand makes you guarded. And it makes you just want to think that it's stupid and that you don't want to do it. It is. This is a thing that I learned living in a foreign country. Living in a foreign country, Language is different. Man, there's things that would require a lot of back and forth that's just not worth it for me to do sometimes, which means I went out to restaurants much less. Very
Yep.
rarely did I go to restaurants where I was in a very German only speaking area. And even some of the stuff where it's just in Dutch and they can kind of do English, like, ugh, I don't like muffled, bombed socialization in the beginning. It's just frustrating all the time. It's like, no, let's do this in a different language. I just don't like all that was enough for me to not want to do a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
If I went to, there's a great place that I really like going to in Austria, and like, but there was no chance of English, man, just none. And I kind of had to go there a few times, a week, and it was like I just had to make it work. But I would like dread going to the place, and if I didn't have to go to the place, I wouldn't go there. So it's just that one little communication thing. They're saying things I don't understand. I'm out. And you're dealing with Americans. And by the way, if you're trying to attract new weight loss clients, you're dealing with fat Americans. And if there's one thing fat Americans don't like, it's shit they don't understand. Make it easy, deliver it to my house, make it be made of sugar. Please do. But those are things: program, training, nutrition, fucking, what was the other one, John? Program, training, nutrition, whatever. That's like, those are things that are important. Those are languages, those are words that they don't understand. So translate that all back to something that makes sense to them.
Macros.
I'm not going to sell you a training. I'm not going to sell you a program. I'm not going to write programming for you and take money. Like, that's what the fuck are you talking writing programming for me? People want workouts. That's the language they use. They just do. And you got to understand it. So dumb it all down. You need to understand that you get further along in your fitness journey, you're going to start smelling your own farts as you're smelling the farts of the people that are teaching you. Yep. And at some point you're like, when you start talking, you've seen this now too. When you start talking to a new client about the stuff in fitness, they fucking glaze over too. And they're like, what is this dork talking about? It's not because don't sound smart. It's because you being smart doesn't make you interesting. And it certainly doesn't put off an empathetic vibe.
No.
It's almost as the opposite, sociopathic vibe. So fix it, guys. Fix it. Be human. Talk to these people like they're people. Talk to those people. You're missing them. This is it's the biggest market you're missing. And I think that is the reason you're not getting leads. Work on that. Find those people. Hunt down the predatory language that's like, put yourself in one of those people's shoes. Like, look at some of those gym fail accounts. See the comments on like basic viral TikTok fitness videos. You'll see how little those people know. You'll just see it. And, some of those people are not people you want to do business, but that demographic is. It's one you got to start attracting, and then let your vibe be the one that weeds them out. But you can beat those predators at their own game by not only using the right language that connects to these people, but actually delivering an effective service that can change the way they think about these things and change somebody's life. So that's the name of the game.
Amen.
Fucking A. All right, guys. I hope I didn't preach too hard at you, but quit ignoring these people. They matter. They're the future of your business. If your business is going to grow, it's only going to grow dependent on your ability to create more exercisers. So get to it. Thanks for listening, everybody. You want in on the action, get into the Facebook group. That's the Gym Owners Revolution. Link is in the description. If you want to work with us directly, just get in the fucking Gear Academy. Start now. Start this week. You'll have your dope offer stack in a week or two. You'll be setting big time milestones, from revenue to specialty programs to supplements to merch to whatever it is you want, you identify as your next opportunity. We will start helping you make that happen immediately. This isn't just some shit where we start ramming you through a bunch of checklists and give you this thing. Like, this is we help you identify what your issues are with you, and then we help you solve them and hold you accountable to that process, just like you do with your clients. So follow the show at the Gym Owners Podcast on Instagram. Go to thegymownersrevolution.com if you want in on the Gear Academy, and follow me at Tyler Effenstone. That's Tyler EFF Ironstone, and John
at JBanksFL on Instagram.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you next week.